Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
A massive fire tore through an apartment building in North Fargo, and officials say it has forced every person living in that building out of their home. Devin Fry spoke with some tenants who lost everything and now have to try to figure out what's next.
I just think it's just crazy how fast your world can turn upside down.
Many residents in one North Fargo apartment complex woke up in a panic early Sunday morning. The building on 33rd Avenue North caught fire around 2:30 this morning and quickly grew out of control, sending people scrambling.
Somebody comes pounding on our door and yells that there's a fire on the 3rd floor, we need to get out. And we're like, oh, wait, whoa, what's going on? So grabbed a few items for the baby, of course, and packed him up and got out of the building. And sure enough, there was a fire right there in the corner unit.
And I have a 10-month-old son, so I grabbed my 10-month-old son, a can of formula, and a sippy cup, and I ran out the door as fast as I could. And there was just smoke everywhere, so I had to get in my car right away, and you couldn't even see when you were driving in your car because smoke was so bad.
Fire crews say that because it was fueled by the heavy winds we've been experiencing, the fire quickly grew to a 3-alarm blaze and eventually consumed the entire roof of this building. Now, at this point, no damage estimate has been announced yet, but we do know that everyone living here has been displaced. All residents in the building at the time of the fire were said to have gotten away safely.
Stuff is replaceable for the most part, but it's still really hard.
So that's a blessing, and I do just feel my heart feels really heavy for everybody that lost a lot of things.
Now with their homes and belongings up in flames, the next step for many who escaped this apartment fire is to figure out where to go from here.
For the next 30 or so days while we're waiting for insurance, we kind of just have to figure out how we're going to get clothes and get by.
I'm not sure where we're going to go from here. I mean, hopefully something comes, because we do need a place to live. You know, I have a baby. We can't get to just bum around.
Reporting from North Fargo, Devin Fry, Valley News Live.
Some victims of the fire have started GoFundMe accounts to help replace the items lost in the fire. No residents were hurt, but officials say, unfortunately, several pets were lost. Many parts of the region had some storms sweep through, bringing wind and rain. Summer Schnellbach has been tracking these storms all day and brings us the latest. Summer?
Things have really quieted down for the time being tonight. And we even did have some thunderstorms roll through the Fargo region. This was non-severe, starting around 6:30, and let that play through on time lapse for you. We had some heavy rain. I was listening to it fall on the roof here in the studio. Right on satellite and radar, you can see most of those showers have moved out of the region. I have this on a 6-hour loop, so you can see those thunderstorms developed through the southern Red River Valley, stretched up through Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, Foston, and up towards Baudette before finally fizzling out. And this is all part of a much larger line that spreads all the way down into Nebraska with some severe thunderstorms towards the bottom. This was a great shot. Lightning near Mahnomen. There was a severe thunderstorm warning in Mahnomen earlier on this evening for some winds that gusted up around 58 miles per hour. But it's a very different scene than we saw last year. Katie, 1 year ago today, several feet of snow fell up near Larimore and the Devil's Lake Basin.
I definitely was here to experience that time, and it was very different from what we're seeing now.
Very different, yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Summer. COVID-19 rates are rapidly rising. North Dakota reporting 640 new cases of COVID-19 today, along with 3 new deaths. 145 of those cases come from Cass County. The daily positivity rate is 8.51%. 339 people have died in the state. Minnesota is reporting more than 1,400 new cases and 10 more deaths. The death toll for the state is 2,141. A man was arrested after driving off in a stolen vehicle last night. Officials say around 9:30 they got word of a stolen Toyota Highlander in Valley City. GPS on that vehicle was used to find it, and a trooper tried to pull over the Highlander on Interstate 94 at Oriska. The vehicle took off. Officials say the pursuit continued for 8 miles to Valley City, where the driver stopped. 31-year-old Matthew Huff of Valley City was taken into custody for multiple charges, including fleeing from a police officer, drug charges, and driving under suspension. An investigation is underway after a report of gunshots being fired in Grand Forks. Around 2:30 this morning, an officer responded to Central Parking the central parking ramp off of First Avenue North. The people responsible were not found in the area. Police were notified of a person claiming to be the victim of a gunshot at the All True Hospital, but officials say it was later found that the injuries did not match a gunshot wound. Police were able to find a gun in a car at the hospital, believed to be the one used. Police say they think they have identified everyone involved and say there is no danger to the public. Expect a showdown in the Senate tomorrow as Judge Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation hearings to the Supreme Court begin. Democrats fear the hearings could become another COVID-19 super spreader, but Republicans are pushing ahead to get Barrett on the high court as quickly as possible. This as the president returns to the campaign trail with just over 3 weeks till Election Day. Jennifer Johnson has our story.
The battle lines are already being drawn between Senate Republicans and Democrats over confirming Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. Democrats want a delay, arguing voters should have a say on this lifetime appointment.
She is being sent on assignment to the Supreme Court by President Trump, and we know what that assignment is. Eliminate the Affordable Care Act, which protects 23 million Americans.
Democrats fear the hearing could become another super spreader. Judiciary Committee members Senators Mike Lee and Tom Tillis tested positive for COVID-19 after attending Barrett's White House nomination ceremony 2 weeks ago.
Senate Republicans will follow the guidance, the medical guidance of the Capitol physician.
Democrats will also grill Barrett on her conservative views on abortion and same-sex marriage and question her participation as a handmaid in the Christian group People of Praise.
I'm feeling great.
The controversial hearing comes as President Trump returns to the campaign trail after his physician determined he was no longer a COVID-19 transmission risk, but not saying if he's tested negative for the virus. New COVID-19 cases are rising across the country, 6 states reporting record numbers.
What we thought might be just a bump after Labor Day clearly is a resurgence in the virus heading into the fall and the winter.
Joe Biden has been attacking the president for downplaying the pandemic, but President Trump wants to show his base the virus shouldn't be feared at rallies planned this week in key swing states. Jennifer Johnson, NBC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, President Trump is running a new campaign ad using a clip from Dr. Anthony Fauci, where he appears that he is praising the president's handling of the pandemic. But late today, Dr. Fauci said his comments were taken out of context and he was praising the government's response and not the president's. What a difference a year makes. Last year during North Dakota's corn harvest, it seemed that if something could go wrong, it did. Many producers didn't finish harvesting their corn until the spring. This year, many were worried they would be faced with more trouble as a dry summer set in. Farmers worried the drought would hurt the corn crop, but so far, yields are good, and some are even ahead of schedule. According to the USDA's weekly crop progress report, corn harvest is 11% complete in North Dakota. That's way ahead of the average of 5% for this time. Still ahead tonight, a new approach to finding a vaccine to ward off the coronavirus. But first, a look at your forecast for the week ahead after a stormy Sunday.